Alabama absolutely blanks Missouri. Now, it's not as if that Missouri was fighting or playing at full potential here because Brady Cook went out in this game. Drew Prine comes in, has 3 picks, 6 of 12 passing, 42 yards, and those 3 interceptions. But look, this is what I'm going to say to Alabama fans. Do not allow anybody to tell you that this is a bad win. I get that Brady Cook wasn't there, but you still blanked him. You did exactly what you needed to do. When I look at this game and I look at what happened between Alabama and Missouri, Missouri comes out, you force a punt and a 3 and out, you go down the field, you get a field goal. There's probably some things you could have done to execute better there on that 8-play 50-yard drive. But I love the consistency in running the football. Justin Haynes got some carries. Jam Miller got some carries. Kendrick Law got a run for 21 yards. You kind of stalled because Haynes had a bad loss and a tackle for or got tackled in the backfield for 4. Then you lined up, kicked a 47-yard field goal. I mean, things could have been worse. But I gotta say this: the first half of this, Missouri kept you around, and I would say that if Brady Cook were healthy and could have been there, I really wonder what this game would have been like. Because the Missouri defense was stalling you and beating you at every punch. After the field goal, here's what happened. A 3 and out for 1 yard. A 3 and out for -2 yards. A 7-play, 14-yard drive with a punt. Then you were able to finally, on the 5th drive of the game, sustain some kind of something. You go 11 plays, 59 yards, and you get another field goal. And I just thought the beginning part of this game, right before going into half, with about, 5 minutes, actually 4 minutes and 38 seconds is what it says here. With 4 minutes left to go in the first half, you couldn't get anything going offensively. I thought you would take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Every time that you got positive momentum, you took 1 massive step back, and it killed you. But you do go on an 11-play, 59-yard drive, I guess. It was fine, but Justin Haynes, 9 yards. Haynes, 2 yards. Milroe, 9 yards. Miller, 3 yards. Milroe, pass to Bernard for 21 yards. And then this is where the chaos happens, and most of the times it comes off of penalties. You got a holding call. Then you have an incomplete pass on a very bad decision, in my opinion, to Ryan Williams. Jalen Milroe's pass is incomplete to Bernard, and every time that you're stalling or getting stalled on these drives, guys, it always comes down to penalties for Bama. That is what's been stalling you, and why things look sluggish is because of 1 bad play. But then at the end, coming to the end of the first half, it was the interception that turned this game around. Luther Burden had a really good catch for 12 yards. They had a couple of runs, a 5-yard run, a 2-yard run. But then Drew Prine comes into the game, and then Malachi Moore picks it off and then gets for 31. You would go down in 3 plays and get a touchdown. And from that point on, it was over. Missouri looked like that they gave up when Brady Cook went down and Drew Prine threw that first pick. It really looked that way. So for Bama, this is what I'd say. In 2 weeks, you have LSU. You got to go on the road. And for both teams will be a playoff eliminator. Your season's right ahead of you. For both of those teams. You want to make the playoff, your season's now in front of you in the month of November. But man, the win is great, and I don't want anybody, and you should not allow anybody to take away from you that you blanked a team and beat a team 34-0. But I just want to make it very well emphasized that you started off a game so sluggish. Second half, you dominated. You start off the second half with a touchdown. You get an interception. But let me stop right there. This is what I'm talking about that I continue to see with Bama. Your defense finally makes a good play, and you can't capitalize. You go on a 3 and out. Those kinds of things. That is what continues to beat Alabama. You got 2 interceptions from Missouri in the second half to start off the second half, and you got a punt, and then you turn around and get a touchdown. Good for you on the second one, but if you really want to expand that, you should have. Would continue, and Alabama would just completely rout Missouri in the second half. Look, I think Bama, for what it's worth, I think that they got the talent. I think they got the coaching in some aspects. I still think Kane Womack, I mean, he's not making adjustments, but it's just that Missouri can't capitalize on those mistakes. In reference to Missouri, I would say this. Without Brady Cook, you're in trouble. And I think that you know that. And it's unfortunate for you, but you're going to have to live through it, man. You're going to have to live through it. It's the only other thing I can say. All right, let's move on here.